Okay, so welcome to another deep dive. You guys have really sent us down quite a rabbit hole this time.
On the rabbit hole indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are exploring this YouTube video titled "Book of Wisdom: Full Explanation." Harry B. Joseph, and this is on the Revival of Wisdom channel.
Right. Revival of wisdom.
Yeah, and there are just so many different ideas presented in this video. It's really kind of all over the place, but it seems like it all stems from the same basic idea of a more kind of esoteric or spiritual view of reality.
Right, I think so. The mission here is to kind of unpack some of that and see what makes sense, see if it's compelling.
Yeah, and try to extract what could be valuable to the learner. I mean, there's a lot here, so uh, it might be a little bit overwhelming. So we'll do our best to distill it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. The video starts out talking about consciousness and spirituality, specifically the relationship between humans and plants.
Right. The idea presented here is that plants, all plants, actually have spirits. And when we smoke them, what we're doing is inhaling that spirit. And that can influence our consciousness.
Hmm.
It's a very animistic view of things,
Hmm.
that there's a deeper connection going on there than maybe we typically think about.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of focus on intention too. It's not just about, the act of smoking. It's about whether you're doing it for good or for bad.
Exactly. There's a responsibility. There's a mindfulness that's encouraged there. Avoid smoking on a full moon, for instance, because things are already amplified. Don't use it to escape reality. Really interesting guidelines.
Yeah. It's about, a conscious interaction. I'm curious about this though. The video goes on to say that our thoughts can directly affect our physical strength.
Yeah. This is a pretty big claim.
Mm.
So the idea is that a positive thought can actually make you physically stronger and a negative one weakens you.
Okay, now how exactly is that measured or?
They used a kind of muscle resistance test where someone's trying to push your arm down
Oh,
and they have you focus on different people, like, a strong historical figure. George Washington was the example used. Or someone considered negative, like Saddam Hussein.
interesting. Yeah, I remember this.
And the claim is that your resistance changes based on the person you're thinking about. Obviously very anecdotal, but it does raise the question about the mind-body connection and just how deep that connection really is.
Yeah, for sure. Then the video kind of goes on to talk about the shapes that surround us, specifically squares.
Right. So they point out that in modern architecture and technology, you see squares everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But in ancient buildings and in nature, not so much. And the theory is that squares actually limit our mental potential,
I remember this.
almost like they trap energy somehow.
Interesting. So what's the alternative, like round buildings?
Well, they talk about how in ancient architecture, you see a lot of pointed roofs.
Right.
The idea is that this shape allows energy to kind of escape upwards.
Fascinating. So just the shape of a building can impact us in this way.
That's the idea. Whether or not it's true, it definitely makes you look at the world around you a bit differently.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, so then the video takes a turn and starts talking about our basic physical needs.
Right. So we all need food, right?
Of course.
But what if food wasn't really the primary source of our energy? What if it was more about charging our bodies like we charge a battery?
Okay. I think I know where this is going.
Humans as biological batteries.
Uh-huh.
We need to replenish our energy not just through food, but also through direct contact with the earth, through grounding,
Yeah, grounding.
and by being near trees.
Trees, right.
It even reframes hunger. When we feel hungry, it might be more about the body eliminating waste than needing energy,
Interesting. And then there's the whole thing about fasting and the benefits of fasting.
right? They talk about stem cell production and autophagy,
Right,
which are things that get talked about a lot in health circles.
right. Autophagy being the body's way of cleaning up damaged cells. So the idea is that, by fasting, you're not just depriving your body, you're actually allowing it to regenerate.
You're giving it a chance to reset and recharge.
Okay, I think I'm following. Then they talk about electrical food. What is that exactly?
So the idea is that the food that we eat, if it's grown under the sun, it's absorbing the sun's energy. And that's what our bodies really need.
Okay.
So we're electromagnetic beings. We need food that's also charged with this electric energy.
As opposed to,
Well, they talk about things like, processed foods,
right.
dead flesh, things that haven't really been exposed to the sun's energy.
Interesting. Then there's the whole thing about the planets. Now, this gets a little out there.
Right. So conventional science tells us that the planets are these spinning balls in space.
Right.
But the video presents a very different view.
Oh, I know.
They're not physical objects in this view. They're lights
Lights.
contained within a firmament.
Right.
And they correspond directly to our 7 chakras
Right.
and to different metals.
And even the days of the week?
Yeah. Monday, moon. Saturday, Saturn. Sunday, sun. They even link Jesus to the symbolism of the sun.
Right. So this isn't astronomy as we know it.
Not at all. It's
Yeah.
more about an internal system, as above, so below. These planets, they represent these fundamental energies that make up the universe, and they also exist within us.
Okay. And Saturn is seen as this kind of ruler of time and conditioning.
Right. And they also talk about the stars, how we see stars in the sky.
Yeah.
Well, in this view, the stars aren't distant suns. They're aspects of our own consciousness.
Right. So it flips the whole thing, doesn't it?
Completely.
Yeah.
The body becomes a universe, a
Right.
microcosm.
Right. And you can't physically land on the moon, for example, because it exists within.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an interesting perspective. Then they get into music.
Music,
Music.
which they see as being extremely powerful.
Extremely. I mean, they even call music a weapon.
A weapon.
Right. In the sense that it can be used to manipulate or control people.
Okay.
And it can be used to, program the subconscious mind.
They even link drill music to knife crime.
Yes. There's this idea that the kind of music you listen to can affect your behavior.
Interesting. So music is a weapon, but it can also be used for good.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's all about intention, right? It's about what kind of music you're listening to and how it affects your consciousness.
It's the soundtrack to our lives. Then they make this really interesting connection between the human body and the earth.
Right. So they talk about rivers being like the earth's veins.
Yeah, I remember this.
Rocks being like the bone.
In soil being like the flesh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very, holistic view.
Yeah.
That the earth itself is like a living organism.
Right. And then they connect it to the planets again.
Yeah. So those 7 planets, they correspond to the chakras
Uh-huh.
and also to the 5 elements.
Right.
Earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. And then they link those elements to our fingers.
Your fingers.
Yeah, and to specific points on the body.
Hmm.
It creates this whole complex web of correspondences.
Wow. And then they even assign elements to specific body parts.
Right, so the jaw is earth.
Okay.
The mouth is water.
Mouth, water.
Nose, air. Eyes, fire. Third eye, spirit.
Interesting.
The sun is the conscious mind.
The sun. Okay.
The moon is the subconscious. And our thoughts and emotions are linked to earth and water.
Earth, water.
While fire and spirit and air and mind complete the picture.
So it's all connected.
It's all connected.
Then they get into the 4 Gospels.
Ah, yes. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Okay.
So in this view, they're not seen as just literal historical accounts.
Okay.
They represent the 4 aspects of human consciousness.
Interesting.
So Matthew, mental, Aquarius. Mark, spiritual, Leo. Luke, physical, Taurus.
Mm.
John, emotional, Scorpio.
And Jesus.
Jesus represents the soul, the sun.
Okay.
So it's more about the internal journey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul's okay, so then they move on to health and they start talking about turmeric.
Right. Turmeric, a common spice.
Mhm.
But the claim here is that the turmeric we use today is actually a GMO.
Genetically modified.
Genetically modified.
Huh.
And it was designed to hide the benefits of ginger, which they claim is the original turmeric,
So ginger is the real deal.
the real deal, according to the video. And GMOs in general are portrayed as something our bodies don't recognize.
Okay.
They cause inflammation
That makes sense.
and all sorts of other health issues. So there's a real emphasis on natural, unprocessed foods here.
Which makes sense if you think about it. Nature knows best.
Right. And they talk about how a lot of natural foods resemble the body parts they're beneficial for.
Oh, right, like walnuts and the brain.
Exactly. Walnuts in the brain. And the idea is that GMOs, they don't have that same connection.
Interesting.
So they lose their beneficial properties. Then there's a whole list of warnings about everyday items that we might not think twice about.
What kind of items?
Oh, things like canned goods with BPA,
Right.
fragrances,
Okay.
plastic chopping boards,
Interesting.
non-stick pans,
Teflon.
Teflon, bleached toilet paper. So many things that we might just assume are harmless. But the video is suggesting that they're actually quite toxic.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. Then the power of the mind gets addressed pretty directly.
Oh, yeah.
So negative thoughts, negative feelings, these can actually damage our health.
It's that mind-body connection again.
Exactly. So it's not just woo-woo, it's like real tangible effects.
So what do we do? Think positive thoughts all the time?
Well, they bring up the classic, see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil.
Okay, I've heard that.
But they're not presenting it as just a moral thing.
Right.
It's about protecting your mind from negativity.
Because that negativity can actually manifest in physical illness.
Exactly. Then they go on to redefine the devil.
The devil.
The devil.
Okay.
So not the red guy with horns.
Right.
It's more about the deviling of our consciousness.
The deviling.
Anything that pulls our focus towards the physical world.
So like what?
Lust, obsession with food, money, fame, power.
Materialism, basically.
Materialism. And they associate the color red with this.
Red.
Red, the lowest vibrational color.
Interesting.
It's the color of rage, of the surface level of consciousness.
Okay. So the devil is within.
The devil is within, or at least the potential for it is.
Right. Then they get into the whole reptilian thing.
Oh, yeah, reptilians. Well, they're pretty clear that they don't believe in reptilians as literal beings.
Okay.
They see the reptilian brain as a metaphor for our primal survival instincts.
Right.
It's the fight or flight response,
Okay.
the part of us that's concerned with basic survival. Then they reframe heaven, earth, and hell, not as places, but as states of consciousness.
Okay, so how does that work?
So the head represents heaven,
Heaven.
the heart represents earth,
Okay.
and the heel represents hell
Interesting.
and the devil.
Yeah.
It's our own mind tempting us with these lower-level pleasures.
So it's about which part of ourselves we're listening to.
Exactly. Then they talk about giants.
Giants, like really
And red.
tall people.
Really tall people. They believe that giants existed in the past, maybe because of higher oxygen levels. And it makes you wonder, where did they go?
Yeah, good question.
And they talk about how humanity might have lost something, a sense of beauty, a sense of class. They even suggest that Egyptian artwork might be depicting the true size of these ancient humans.
Wow. That's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
It is. But it's interesting to think about. Then they emphasize the power of aligning our thoughts, emotions, and actions.
So like manifestation.
Manifestation, yeah.
Yeah.
If we want to create a certain reality, we need to align our internal state with that reality.
Makes sense. Finally, they talk about Jesus. But again, it's not what you might expect.
Right. So the claim here is that Jesus never actually existed as a historical person.
Wow.
He represents the Son, the soul, and the 12 disciples.
The 12 disciples.
They represent the 12 signs of the zodiac,
So it's all symbolic.
all symbolic.
Okay, then they move on to the moon.
The moon, yes.
Yes.
And they say it has a huge influence on us.
The moon.
The moon. It's like our mind.
Okay.
And they use this example of police calls increasing during a full moon.
Really?
That's what they claim. It's like the moon amplifies our emotions,
Especially the negative ones.
especially the negative ones.
Yeah.
But they also say we can use this to our advantage.
How so?
Well, visualize what you want during a full moon.
Okay.
Your intention is more powerful then.
Okay.
And then there's the connection between the lunar cycle and the menstrual cycle.
Right.
That's pretty well known.
Yeah.
And how the moon affects bodily fluids and the tides.
Makes sense. But then they talk about a missing month in our calendar.
Yeah, this is a bit out there.
I know.
The idea is that we're not actually synced up with the moon's cycles anymore because of this missing month.
Interesting. Then they talk about Jesus turning water into wine.
Oh, right. So not a literal miracle.
Okay.
It's about transmuting negative emotions into positive ones.
Okay, I kind of see that. Water being negative, wine being positive.
Right. It's like internal alchemy.
Purification.
Purification, exactly.
Oh.
Then they redefine sin.
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 Okay.
It's not just about doing something wrong.
Okay.
It's any emotion that lowers your vibration,
Okay.
that takes you further away from your higher self,
Interesting.
and the 7 deadly sins.
Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth.
Those are just internal states. States of being.
Now, just actions.
Right.
Okay. Then they talk about baptism.
Baptism, yeah.
Right.
So in this view, it's a symbolic journey
A journey.
through the 4 elements. You start with earth,
Okay.
the lowest state of being,
Okay.
then water, purification,
Yeah.
then fire, awakening, then air, mental, and finally spirit,
The highest state.
the highest state.
Okay, that's actually a really cool way to look at it.
It is. Then we get to one of the core ideas of the video.
Mm-hmm.
You are consciousness,
Not the body.
not the body. Consciousness.
Okay.
And there's this battle between consciousness and physical desires,
Right.
what they call the flesh and God.
The flesh and God. Wow.
And we need to, crucify the ego,
Yeah.
crucify those fleshly desires.
Okay. I think I'm following.
And they link this to the 5 wounds of Jesus on the cross.
The 5 wounds.
The 5 wounds.
Okay.
Those represent our 5 senses.
Interesting.
We need to let go of those attachments to the material world
Okay.
to be born again in consciousness.
Uh-huh.
Then there's a pretty unique claim about semen.
Semen. Okay. This should be interesting.
They call it the astral liquid of the soul.
It's the astral liquid of the soul.
And releasing it depletes our energy.
Okay.
It can lead to tiredness, mineral deficiencies. Semen retention, on the other hand, transmutes that energy.
Okay.
It increases your strength, your attractiveness.
Interesting.
It's an idea that pops up in different spiritual traditions.
So it's about conserving energy.
It's about conserving energy, yeah. Then they talk about religion in a way that's pretty different from how we usually think of it.
How so?
They see it as an externalization of an inner truth. Sin is an internal emotion that goes against our higher self.
It's about aligning with our true nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that alignment leads to what they call Christ consciousness,
Christ consciousness.
which is a state of spiritual awakening.
Okay. So it's not about following rules.
Not really.
Yeah.
It's about inner transformation. They also have a very specific view of the role of women.
Okay, this should be interesting.
They say that women hold the portal to the physical world.
The portal.
The portal. And they connect this to the Ankh symbol from ancient Egypt.
The Ankh. Okay.
And they talk about the headdresses that some Egyptians wore.
Yeah.
Those represent women as the master builders of the human temple, the body.
Okay. That's a pretty powerful image.
It is. It elevates the feminine principle to a central role in creation.
Right. Then they get into the whole process of how the body is formed in the womb.
Right. So they bring in astrology here.
Astrology. Okay.
They say that the 12 signs of the zodiac, they influence the development of the fetus, and that the body is made up of 12 different types of cells, each corresponding to a zodiac sign.
Interesting.
And women, they have this ability to harness the energies of the planets and constellations.
To create life.
To create life, yeah.
And then they talk about womb man.
Right.
And how it connects to the number 9.
Yes, 9.
Which is associated with the divine feminine.
Right. It's like this hidden code within the language.
Very cool. Then they get into the soul.
The soul, yes. So the soul is seen as this astral entity that takes up residence in the physical body.
Okay, okay.
And then they talk about sex.
Sex, okay.
And they say that sex is a way of creating an astral portal.
An astral portal.
An astral portal.
Okay.
And that it's important to be in a high vibration during sex because you can attract souls of a similar vibration.
So be mindful of who you're with.
Exactly. They even caution against casual sex. They call it a form of magic.
Magic.
Magic. It can have unintended consequences.
Wow, that's a whole different way of looking at things. Then they talk about alcohol.
Alcohol, yes. And not in a positive light. They actually call it a magic potion.
A magic potion.
That can invoke spirits, weaken your energy field, and lead to negative behavior.
Okay.
They even get into the etymology of the word alcohol, saying it comes from an Arabic word that means body-eating spirit.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
And they talk about how vodka and gin have these spiritual connotations.
Interesting.
Like they're not just drinks.
There's something more.
Something more, yeah. And they talk about how alcohol was developed by alchemists to extract spirits.
So it's like a demonic potion?
It can be, depending on how it's used and who's using it.
Then they drop a pretty big bombshell.
Oh, you mean the flat earth thing?
The flat earth thing.
Yeah. So they just come right out and say it, the earth is flat.
No explanation, no evidence.
Not really. They just present it as fact.
Yeah.
Then they go back to health, talking about a bloated gut.
Okay. What's their take on that?
They blame it on high cortisol levels.
Cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. And they say that cortisol goes up when you eat unnatural foods.
Processed foods, GMOs.
All that stuff. And they say things like body odor, bad breath. Those are signs of a toxic gut.
Interesting.
So basically clean up your diet, clean up your gut, and a lot of these problems will go away.
Makes sense. Then they get into some pretty specific recommendations for healing.
Oh yeah, they have a whole list. Single fruit diets.
Like what?
Blueberries, watermelon,
Okay.
sea moss,
Sea moss, yeah.
herbs, fasting,
Right?
grounding, sunlight.
So it's like a whole lifestyle overhaul.
Pretty much. Back to nature.
Okay, then they start talking about vision and reality, and this is where things get really trippy.
It does. So they say our eyes are like black holes.
Black holes.
Black holes. They suck in light.
Okay.
But vision doesn't actually happen in the eyes. It happens in the brain,
The visual cortex.
the visual cortex.
Right.
And then they say, and this is a big one, the universe is a mental projection.
Whoa.
They even quote the Kabbalion.
I like Kabbalion.
The Kabbalion. All is mind.
So our reality is just what we think it is.
That's the idea. Our five senses, They're just the brain interpreting electrical signals,
So we're living in a simulation.
like an advanced VR headset.
Wow. And then they say that the individual, you and me, we're part of this universal mind,
The observer.
the observer behind everything.
Exactly. And that there's this one consciousness that gives life to everything.
God.
God, yeah.
And the I am within us.
The I am, that's the universal consciousness.
Okay, that's deep. Then they get into government and advertising.
Right. So their view is that the government is trying to control our minds,
Our arraignments.
our armaments. And they talk about how advertising is designed to manipulate us.
It makes you wonder.
It does. But they also say that our minds are incredibly powerful.
Like limitless potential.
Limitless potential. The mind is not the brain.
Right.
The brain is just a supercomputer.
Mm-hmm.
The mind is something much greater. Then they talk about prayer.
Prayer. Interesting.
And their take on prayer is very different.
How so?
It's not about asking for things. It's about believing you've already received them.
Okay.
It's about tricking the subconscious mind.
Interesting.
And they use the example of, if you pray for something negative, you're more likely to get it
Okay.
because you're focusing your energy on it.
Makes sense.
Even the golden rule, they connect that to the subconscious mind.
So treat others how you want to be treated because that's what you'll manifest.
Exactly. And they say Jesus understood this.
Really?
Yeah, in the Gospel of John, Jesus is portrayed as using his consciousness to manifest reality.
Wow.
And they say we're all interacting with this energy grid that reflects our internal state back to us.
Okay. So if we're feeling negative, we're going to attract negativity.
Right. And if we're feeling positive, we'll attract positivity.
Okay. So it's about raising our vibration.
Raising our vibration, yeah.
Yeah.
And they even bring in quantum physics here.
Quantum physics.
Quantum physics, the idea of wave-particle duality, how the act of observation affects reality.
Yeah.
And the famous saying, I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
They reinterpret that as the I am within each of us.
The universal consciousness.
Exactly. Then they move into this section where they challenged a lot of conventional beliefs, starting with the word alcohol.
Okay.
They say it comes from an Arabic word meaning body-eating spirit.
Really? I've never heard that.
And that drinks like vodka and gin, those are more than just drinks.
They have spiritual connotations.
Exactly. And that alcohol was developed by alchemists to extract spirits.
So it's like a potion.
It can be.
Wow. Then they talk about magic.
Magic, yes.
And they say it never really disappeared.
It's been hidden.
Hidden in plain sight.
Exactly. Veiled in myths and stories and allegories. Then they compare the nervous system to a tree.
A tree.
A tree.
Interesting.
The heart is the fruit,
Okay.
and the mind controls the 12 cranial nerves.
12. There's that number again.
Right. 12 disciples, 12 imams, 12 tribes of Israel, 12 signs of the zodiac.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
So what's the point of this comparison to a tree?
To show the interconnectedness,
Yeah.
how everything's linked. Our consciousness is connected to the source of the universe. The brain is like a holographic projector.
Yeah.
Life is a file. And they compare the brain and heart to a husband and wife.
Husband and wife.
Thinking and feeling. They need to be in harmony.
Oh, okay. I kind of see that.
And then they reinterpret the Baphomet.
The Baphomet.
The Baphomet. That symbol with the goat head? Host?